Um, yeah, our vision, as people have all heard before, is to be the Spotify market data. We think that really still stands, right? And the big innovation that we came up with is the innovation. Go back. Let's stay on Spotify for a little while. So the big innovation that we came up with was, we're solving a very specific problem. How do you get market data onto the blockchain? There's two components of that. So the first one is the cryptographic proof component, and that's what the up to that point oracles have always done, and most of the other people who are considered oracles in the space or bridges in the space do that. It's not the most difficult problem in the world to solve, because you're basically getting a group of testers to basically confirm information, and then you're conforming it to the publishing mechanism that you have to have on various blockchains. And so we've done that and scaled that. Now we're on over 100 blockchains where we can post those cryptographic proofs. The much more challenging part is to go and build a data business. And so this all comes down to licensing. And that's why I think this Spotify thing actually makes a whole lot of sense. When you first start explaining Pyth to people, they want to know what's the specific technology that you're doing, or the technology disruption that you've created. And that's one element of it. And it's more on the attestation side a little bit. On the creation of an entirely new data, that is, in and of itself requires a bunch of technology, none of which the technology side is incredibly novel. It's more the network side of it. But what we've been able to do is amass a set of data, catalog of data, ever expanding, that is licensable. And really nobody can compete with us on price, because we're not sourcing the data by buying it from somebody else in the market. We've actually created an original source. So it's almost like synthetic oil. We've discovered it. We know there's a huge market for oil. So we have to just now figure out how to sell that into the world, and make sure that it's competitive, it works, and all the things that oil does. And the reason why I like Spotify is because you don't necessarily think about that. You just think, okay, it's just one connection. It gives me access to all these incredible amounts of music. For you, it's a materially better experience than going out and buying CDs, or even buying iTunes songs and so on, or listening to the radio, listening on ads based. But behind the scenes of that, they've gone and done all the work to license all that information, all that content, so you can use it. And that's what we've done